friends, welcome back. It is so good to see you all. I hope you had a great week and that this finds you all well and happy. I am really excited to share today's video with y'all. We are going to go play outside in the sunshine and I'm really excited. We finally have some beautiful weather here. The birds have been singing. It has just been glorious, and I don't know if y'all remember, just barely a month ago, we still had a ton of snow. So spring has come really late for us this year, but it is finally here and I'm super excited. So we are going to work on a front porch refresh today, but I'm also going to do some sprucing up in all of my flower gardens that are just kind of around the front entry as you walk in. So I thought it would be a lot of fun to take y'all along with me. We're also going to do a couple of DIYs today because I've got a sign I want to give a complete makeover to, and then we're going to do a quick floral arrangement for the front door. So guys, let's go play in the sunshine. So I have this sign that we had hanging on the front porch during the fall season, and I thought rather than creating a whole brand new sign, let's just recycle this one. So I'm sanding all of the lettering off the best I can. It doesn't come off the way I wanted it to. My original hope was that I could sand this down to the original wood, but that paint was just not going to come off. So plan B, we're going to go ahead and repaint the entire thing. And for my front porch colors this year, I decided to go with like a natural beigey color blended with black, or incorporated with black. So we're going to create this sign to match those colors that I chose for the front porch. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint it with this. It's called French linen, and I do believe this is a folk art craft paint. So I paint the entire surface with 2 coats, and then I'm going to come in and paint the frame with some black. And I am just using black chalk paint here. I think this might, I don't remember what brand I'm using here. But one of the things that I want to mention is the French linen on the sign is still a little bit wet here. So instead of, waiting for that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and get the parts of the frame that I can paint without getting black on the front side of the frame, if this all makes sense. And then once that French linen is dry, we can go ahead and tape all of this off to get the inside part of the frame painted. Okay, y'all, so what is it about peeling off paint from our craft projects that is just so satisfying? Is it weird that I love this part of the process? Are any of y'all like that? Please tell me I am not alone in this. All right, so here is our frame all finished painted. Now, there are still some rough edges on this, but I decided to go ahead and leave it that way because I kind of liked a little bit of that shabby chic look going on here. So now I'm just going to go ahead and apply all of our lettering, and I went with the saying, "Oh, hello." I just thought that was so cute for a front porch. I cut these vinyl letters out on my electronic cutting machine, and this font that I am using here is a font that I drew myself. I could not find the exact font that I wanted. I wanted something that was fun and playful, so I went ahead and created this for myself. I will have it as a free downloadable for y'all, and that link will be in my description box. And something else that I want to mention is when you are creating a sign for your outdoor use, make sure that you are using permanent outdoor vinyl. Otherwise, your vinyl may not survive the season very well, and we don't want that to happen. After we put in all this hard work, we want our vinyl to survive the season. So here is what it looks like all finished, and I am just loving this so much. I can hardly wait to hang it up outside on my front porch. Our next project is also going to be one that we are going to upcycle. This was a floral arrangement that we created in the fall, and I love the little white flowers that were in this arrangement. So I decided to keep those, and I'm just going to go ahead and take out all the fall leaves and fall picks that were in this and replace it with just some more summery, airy greenery. I'm going to use a little bit of eucalyptus stems and a few more teeny tiny little white flowers to reconstruct this basket. I really love this basket of flowers. I think it's going to be really pretty, just upcycled. And you know, I think it's fun to do stuff like this so that you're not creating a whole new project, because that way we don't have a bazillion things sitting around in our decor closets. We can just keep upcycling things and recycling the same project. And I think this turns out great for something that I just threw together on a whim. When constructing floral arrangements, one little rule that I like to follow is keeping all of the taller pieces in the background and then kind of sloping our basket down from taller pieces to shorter pieces. And then I like to add in the wispies in the very, very front that kind of just dangle out and hang over the basket, just to give, provide a little bit of that wispy feel, because I kind of think that's what pulls the whole arrangement together. So that's how I went about constructing this. I love it, y'all. Isn't it amazing how just adding a little bit of simple greenery to this changed the entire look of the basket? This is going to look so pretty hanging on the front door. One of my favorite features here in the front garden is our little tiny pond feature, and it's nothing spectacular by any means, but I do love it because I love listening to the sound of that gurgling water. And it's right outside my studio, so in the summer months I can open up the studio window and just listen to the sound of the pond. And I love watching the birds play in it too. The birds love to just splash around in the pond, and that's kind of fun for me to watch. So I'm going to take you guys along on the process of how I got the pond all cleaned up and ready for the season. Tackling this pond was not my favorite chore, I won't lie. It was a little bit of work, and it was pretty messy from the winter season. And oftentimes I can kind of just come in and scoop up all the leaves and the debris that gets stuck in there through the fall and the winter months. However, this was so bad. There was a lot of sludge and slimy green stuff. What is that called? Oh, I forgot what it's called. But anyway, there was a lot of that in the pond. So I decided to just go ahead and suction the entire thing out, clean out all the water and give it a good scrubbing and just start this whole thing from the beginning. So that's what I did. Here it is, all cleaned out. I've scrubbed all the edges off, got all the algae, that's what that's called. Got all the algae off the edges, and now I'm gonna go ahead and start refilling it. I get it just enough water in it so that I can place the pump and get the pump situated just the way it needs to be, so that's, standing straight. And then the moment of truth, we will plug this thing in and see if it's gonna work after a long winter's nap. Okay, y'all, let's go plug this beast in and see if it's going to work. Crawling back here to access my plug-in put me in a little bit of a precarious position, but I plugged it in, the pump works, and I did not fall into the pond, so that is a bonus. And oh, I am just loving this. I'm so happy to have this back and going for this season. I love this gurgling sound that it makes. It's just so peaceful and soothing.
Now that we have the pond all up and ready, I think it's time to start planting some flowers. I want to do some flower pots, and then I just want to add a few things to the front garden to just kind of fill it in just a little bit. So let's go play in the dirt.
This front garden space is the first thing that people see when they come to my front door. It kind of comes in off the driveway and wraps around this garden leading up to the front door. So I like this space to be very clean and tidy, but I also want it to be very welcoming and inviting, and I don't like to see a lot of dirt. So there was some empty places around the pond area that I had plants that didn't quite survive the winter months, so I dug those up, and I'm going to replace these empty spots with some dwarf boxwoods just to add a little extra greenery and some flair around the pond area. I don't actually put plants in my pond because they've just never done well in this tiny little pond space. I don't think they have enough room to actually grow in here. But if anybody has some ideas of some plants for a tiny little pond, I would love to hear, because I would love to have some actual greenery in the pond. Two of these window planter boxes, one on this side. This is actually the garage side of our house. So I have a planter box here, and then one that's actually under my studio window. And I love to plant flowers in these, but y'all, the only thing that will grow in these planter box is annuals, and I get tired of buying annuals every single year. So this year I'm actually just putting in plain old petunias. Normally I go crazy and put some taller plants in the back and then have the wispy hangy downs in the front, but this year I just decided to go with simple petunias, and these are the creeping petunias, so they will kind of start to grow and kind of wispy out of the planter box. And I do have plans to create some faux shutters to hang above this planter box coming up in a future video, so y'all be looking out for that one, because that'll be a fun video. I'm excited to kind of just create some things to add on the walls here to just give this a little more welcoming, inviting, warm feel to it, because right now the walls are just so empty and blank and they're kind of cold. So it'll be fun to add some faux shutters to this section of the siding. I was going to plant some petunias right here in front of the pond as well, because I know once the tulips are gone, there's going to be kind of an empty spot here. But I found these decorative dill plants and decided that these would be a lot prettier here. They're just so sweet and wispy, and I love the playfulness to them. So that's what I planted here. So when the tulips are all gone, this spot won't be quite so empty, and I might still go ahead and add some petunias there. But this is the window box right under my studio window, so I'm going to go ahead and get it planted with some petunias as well. Do y'all ever have those moments smack dab in the middle of a project where you decide, oh, I hate these, I need to change these? That was me right here. So I had these planters, and the planters are okay. I really love this one here that I'm currently spray painting. The other one, not so much. But y'all know planters can be a little bit spendy, so I just decided to give these a fresh new look by spray painting them. And I also had this little table here that it was a kind of a brassy copper color, and that sat next to my front porch bench, but I decided I would give that a little refresh and spray paint it black too. And it did take 2 coats of spray paint for all 3 of these pieces, and I used a satin finish on them because I thought that would hold up to the elements just a little bit better. While the spray paint is drying on our other pots, I decided to go ahead and start planting some of my smaller ones. So I planted this one with just a geranium and a little bit of vinca. And the rule when you're creating a really full planter for your outdoor decor is to use a spiller, a thriller, and a filler. Well, I kind of broke that rule just a little bit here because I didn't really want, in this particular pot, I didn't want something super tall in there. So rather than putting in a thriller, I just used 2 fillers and some spillers. But they are really full. Like I put 2 geraniums in there and a little bit of that Alecia and some vinca, some flowering vinca. So when this starts to mature and grow, it will really fill out, and I think it will still be very, very stunning.
Now that we've gotten all the hard work out of the way, well, I don't know. I think that term hard work might be relative to gardening, because for me, gardening isn't really so much hard work as much as it is just therapeutic and relaxing and enjoyable for me. So I kind of love that process of just planting all the pots and digging in the dirt a little bit. But now that we've gotten that finished, let's get to decorating and styling the front porch and see what kind of trouble we can get into here.
All right, y'all, this is my front porch. It is not much of a front porch at all, but we are going to do the best we can and work with what we have. So I recruited Michael's help to hang our Oh Hello sign. I just really love this sign, y'all. And I appreciate Michael's help so much. I mean, I know I probably could have done this myself, but he is so much better at hanging things like this because I always tend to get everything crooked. So I appreciate Michael's willingness to give me a helping hand here. Doesn't this look so cute? Next, I'm just going to hang this little tiny hanging flower pot next to the front door just to give it a little flair. And then again, Michael's helping me out. He's doing the heavy lifting for me today. Then I will add this fiddly fig leaf tree to the corner here on the front porch. And then we also moved the lantern up 1 step because I decided I just did not like it on this step. And then I'm giving Michael some directions here, and he's going to put this fern for me right here. And then we will add our cute little table next to the bench, add a flower pot to that, add in some rugs and some pillows, and just get this front porch looking a little more spruced up. We'll add another plant to the opposite side of the bench and our pretty flower basket that we made to the front door. And then just like that, with a few simple touches, we go from this plain, boring, ugly front porch to this. And I am just loving the front porch results, y'all. I love the color palette. I think everything just turned out so pretty.
I am so pleased with how the front porch looks, y'all. What do you think? It was such a transformation. I think this might be the best my front porch has really ever looked for the summer season. I have never really liked my front porch because I don't actually really have much of a front porch, and so it's always been a little area that's been kind of hard for me to decorate, but I think it turned out really good this year. I'm really loving it, and I think I'm going to enjoy it so much more than I have in years past. Alrighty friends, that is going to wrap up our video for today. I hope y'all really enjoyed this. I sure did. I enjoyed hanging out and spending some time in the sun together. It just felt so good to get this project done. I'm loving the results. The front porch transformation looks so good, and our gardens are going to be fun. I cannot wait to see how everything starts to grow and fill in. I'll keep you guys updated on that. If you're not already, follow me over on Instagram because I do share a lot of that kind of stuff behind the scenes over there. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap up for today. I will see you all next week. Until then, y'all take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.